I now request M.V.R. Kameshri Garu to introduce K.R.R. Gandhi Garu.
Good evening, respected professors, dignitaries, and participants. I deem it a great honor and privilege to introduce Professor Shri K.R.R. Gandhi, data scientist and strategist. Professor Raja Rama Gandhi Korikana is a renowned mathematician and a resource person in mathematics for Oxford University Press. He is a visiting professor at IIMs and MDI, IID, member AP State Planning Board 2014 to 19, advisory to both national and regional political parties in India. He is a digital learning advisor for IIM's e-learning. Professor Gandhi was awarded the Best Teacher by JNTUK 2012, Best Researcher by RBI 2014. He is a life member in CMS, IMS, and RMS. His passion for pure mathematics started at an early age, and his love for number theory has grown exponentially since then. Professor Gandhi immensely contributed in the field of number theory and published more than 100 papers in various international journals, and also published 5 monographs on theory of numbers. To his credit, Sir has authored 4 books on mathematics, statistics, and data analysis, and he has filed few patents. He is an editor, reviewer, and referee of various international journals and adjudication member for the evaluation of PhD thesis. Sir has organized several workshops, conferences, and carried out several government and private industry projects. Professor Gandhi is also an entrepreneur and an agriculturist. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all. Now I request Professor Gandhi to deliver his talk. Over to Professor Gandhi.
Right, thank you, ma'am. I think I am audible now.
Yes, sir.
Right, great. Before starting, once again, let me thank for Mathematics Department and the Institute of Science, of course, CLS, and my university, GITAM. Today is actually my talk about relevance of mathematics in data science. So you can see even data science in math and math in data science, both are almost the same, right? So how it is same, I'm going to prove. And also I will tell you the importance of this data science in real life. So I have divided today's my talk into 5 parts. One is about application. And 3 applications I will discuss. And also I will discuss what kind of mathematics, what kind of statistics, or how much math and how much statistics really required to become a data scientist. That is my 4th point. And what are the actually consultancy jobs are available within the government at state level as well as national level. These things also I will discuss, so that the people who are good at mathematics, they can come to and they can apply their mathematical skills into data science, and they can start guiding government as well as even people. So talk about this, how much mathematics and statistics is required for data. Back to this mathematics and statistics for DS. See, actually, if you see, there are some openings in GITAM. Let us consider for time being, there are some openings in GITAM. It may be faculty or it may be what you call administrative positions. So there is actually tester is the one what you call the job profile, and the Java developer is required and architect is required. There are 3 openings are there. Let us consider for time being. You can put not only 3, you can put any number of job profiles, right? So when you advertise it, let us consider you got maybe 3 people, or for a time being, let us consider you got a certain number of people. And in order to know their skill levels, let us consider you have by giving certain questionnaire. So there are 3 people, let us consider namely, one is Carlos, Joy, and Monica. So all these 3 people actually given examination in all of the 3 job profiles, tester, Java developer, as well as architect. These are actually computer language terminologies, but the same concept applicable even for other jobs also, right? Let us consider in the tester, the first person is scored 53% out of 100, and in the second level 27%, and the third level is 13%. So by looking at this score, generally we will think the first person may be good for tester position, so we may accept and we may assign the job, right? And when you see the second person actually score, then maybe your opinion is changed. You can have actually even third person details also. So by actually assignment concept, which is actually there in operations or OR, operation research, even in management, we will talk about what you call the optimization. So if you management science models, if you take for institutions like IIMs and MDI, they won't call it as an operation research. They will call the same subject by management science models. All are same, right? The concept is same, maybe names are different. Let us consider for time being, feel it, you don't know math. You don't know math, I don't know math, but whatever it is, the management given this assignment for us to choose the best people for a tester, Java developer, and architect. So what actually we'll do, based on this score, simply we can say the person who got more score in tester, we will appoint him for a tester position, right? So I'm going directly. So this Joy actually got 80%, therefore we can assign this Joy for a tester position. So one person, there are some conditions also we have. So there are 3 openings. One is a tester and other one is a developer and architect. So since we already employed him and we offered a tester position, therefore we are not supposed to give the one more position for this particular person. Then we can eliminate those values, whatever actually there just beside this 80%, because he is no more eligible for Java developer or architect. So this is one concept, right? So one is over. Now for other 2 persons for positions, how we are going to fill? So other 2 positions we can fill who are actually got highest score in the second level. That particular person we can employ. So he got actually 73%, who is this Monica, and we can employ her for Java developer position. In the same manner, how we did for Joy, the same way, we are not supposed to assign one more job to Monica, because one person, one job, right? So whatever actually left, that will go to the first person. This is the actually concept we know very well, right? So actually this is not a good method. Why it is not good method? Since we don't know mathematics, whatever actually common sense we have, based on that, we understood who are got good score, we can employ them for the particular position. All the things are okay, right? But in general, if you see the third candidate who got 13%, that means what? If you assign him for architect job, no doubt actually because of 13%, he may not execute whatever results we have set. Therefore, we have to adopt some other what you call skill. So there mathematics is required. So by using mathematics, we can assign the same kind of thing in a different way. Because we got 3 people. So by what you call the factorial concept. So in how many ways actually we can choose these scores? So that is a 3 factorial, nothing but 6. So 6 ways you can compute by using mathematics, right? The factorial concept actually mathematical concept. Now what will happen? So if you take one person 53, 47, 47, so add it all the people, so you will have 147 as a total score. Like that, if you can make all 6 combinations, previously we did this one, 80%, 73%, and last person is 13%. The total score is 166. And moreover, we are not happy by looking at the number 13%. There is no doubt definitely this particular person won't give 100% justification to the job. So when we use mathematics, there are other 5 types of calculations we can obtain. From that, we can see the maximum score is 193%, so that we can assign to the first fellow to the tester job with 53% of the skills, and the second person is 73, and previously third one is 13, whereas now 67%, right? That is the greatness of mathematics. But if you want to go beyond mathematics, what to do? Why we should go beyond mathematics? So these are the calculations you can do, because only 3 elements are there, 3 factorial, 3 into 2 into 1, 6. And also we can put a little bit whatever concentration and the time is there, we can effort and we can make this summation, and finally we can conclude the best possible model. But let us consider there are 100 people came for these all the positions, right? So if 100 people there, then naturally according to that concept, like 3 factorial, you have to make 100 factorial. So 100 factorial, 9.3 into 10 power 1, that is a scientific notation we have mentioned, but it is nothing, it is a very huge number, right? So those many combinations, actually it's very difficult to see and measure. Then data science is required. That's what I want to tell you. So mathematics in data science or data science in mathematics, whatever it is, right? So what is data science? What kind of mathematics required? That is, I will tell you later. But here, one thing you have to understand, data science is very much important, so that instead of our efforts and all, that the science, that particular programming languages will take care of computing this all kind of assignments in no time. And you believe it or not, if you want to see even that number and those many calculations, if you want to make it, maybe this kind of systems are required. So very powerful computers are required, right? But as of now, we have beautiful languages. One is Python, and the second one is Julia, and the third one is Wolfram Alpha mathematics. And apart from these 3 programming languages, there are other languages also there, like R and all. But if you are good at Python and R, and if you are good at some level of mathematics, you need not be a genius. So here 2 things are there. Let us make it a general example. You have a car. If you have a car, you need not to think about how that first gear is working, how it is second gear is working, how this reverse gear is working. Just to learn how to drive. That's all. Otherwise, having car is no use. Or else, if you want to become a data scientist, instead of using just data science, if you want to become a data scientist, then you may need mathematics. But interestingly, what happened in programming language like Python and Julia, people like me, we are developing codes and we are placing in GitHub for public use. You can use those codes. So you need not to learn even mathematics also. But why mathematics is required? Logic comes from mathematics, because here you have to give less number of codes. That's very important. If you write more number of codes, maybe the system performance will go down. So if you want to make it in less number of code lines, then you may require some kind of logic. The logic comes actually from mathematics. So if you are good at math, then obviously good. If you are not good at math also, the codes are readily available in GitHub. And the people like me, we are actually generating always codes and we are placing in GitHub. You can simply download and you can use and you can complete any kind of task. Particularly people are suffering to allocating what you call the timetable jobs. So they are actually coinciding with one person to other person. A lot of problems are there. All kind of allocations you can do with the programming language. So you can ask to the people how many periods you are going to take in a week, and what are the subjects you are going to take within the same building you are taking, or even outside also you are going within the GITAM University or something else, right? Or how many days you are available in GITAM. So based on that, you can give to the system. System will create a proper timetable without having any confusions. So if you take actually eraser and the scale, what you call the pencil, and making, what you call the timetable, it is not good. See, that is the power of data science, right? So now coming to the point, this is actually code. It is very difficult to you to understand the code as of now. If you have some kind of computer science knowledge, then it's better. In fact, yesterday I have entered in the what you call this talk, and one of the professor from Banaras in the university, he mentioned one of the interesting point. is a student who belongs to computer science. He learned mathematics from this professor, Sasikanta Misraji, and the both actually did a lot of wonders. That is the actually beauty of computing. In stock market, people will say power of compounding. In data science, we will say power of computing. So if you have computer knowledge, that's more than enough. Computer knowledge means don't think it is a BE, BTech, computer science and all the things. Just if you can understand a few languages like Python, Julia, and Wolfram Alpha, that's more than enough. You can analyze, you can predict, you can do so many wonders. And you can produce good number of papers also. You can write one paper in one day, frankly speaking. These are actually for general purpose. I'm showing you this, general look of the code. And you believe it or not, if you give 100 actually parameters, 100 parameters, previously we have taken only 3. If you take even 100, this Julia will compute the entire task in 0.01 seconds. That is the power of computing. Please believe me. So you all are good at mathematics. If you can learn these languages and certain logics, then you can do 100%, you can create wonders. And these are actually coding, and I don't want to talk much more about the coding. Then another thing is, after selecting these people, let us consider someone is told or maybe suggested the budget is not more than $5,000. Then again another headache. So one is what, selecting the people, and the second thing is, suppose you have to select the people within the budget. That is another kind of constraint and another kind of headache. This is mathematically, if you want to solve, you can only understand, and you have to explain to the what you call the higher officials who are assigned the job. Sir, this is your budget, and these many people we selected like this. So they also can't understand what actually you are saying, right? So just give to the computer, and the computer will analyze, and it will create what you call the beautiful allocation, and also it will generate a report. So generating a report is very, very, very important. Okay, so there are certain rules are there how to generate the report. And if you give that report to your boss, he will feel very happy. So within the budget, how better you actually performed and how betterly you allocated the certain assignments to the concerned people. These are all the things they can understand in no time. That is the power of computing and the power of these languages, right? And these are the things actually conditions. And you believe it or not, if you got expertise in data science, since you are good at mathematics, and there are 7.3 billion in revenue used to reduce the federal deficit. This is overall actually. 20% reduction in retail inventory by means of price reduction for optimizing the problems. And 50% reduction in supply chain planning time. See, people want at the end of the day solution. So what kind of, how you are saving time, how you are saving money, that's very important. Even though you are good at mathematics, certain things you cannot calculate. You need certainly some system, right? And another thing is, let us consider your Python program or Julia, maybe not there in the position to understand your feeling, how to give your feelings to the system in order to digest your feeling, in order to execute your requirement. That is actually available in the data science. So if you can look at what actually curriculum there in the data science, just because of you are having some knowledge in mathematics, definitely you can complete the program and you can do so many things, right? Even formulas are not existing, you can use it. You can define your own problems. You can convince the Python in a Pythonic language, in a Pythonic way, and it will execute, right? So the general questions actually people will get. What role does math play in data science? How much mathematics depth is needed for data science? Frankly speaking, if you are good at mathematics, if you are bad in mathematics, also no problem. Why? Because all formulas and all codes are ready-madely available in various sources. I will show where actually it is available. You just use it. In case if you are good at mathematics, don't give your formula because Python can't understand mathematics. Just give in Pythonic language your formula, whatever formula you have designed. Once Python and Julia or Wolfram Alpha understood your concept, it will start executing your requirement from then and there. So does the DS need statistics? Yes, some level of statistics is required. The same concept is applicable. So you may have good knowledge in mathematics, or you may not have good knowledge in math. Math and stat does not matter at all. So these are general questions. Anyway, I'm going to share this PPT because I want to cover much important things. So therefore, later you can go through this PPT anyway. I'm going to share. But people are talking about machine learning, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is actually wrong word. We should call it as augmented intelligence, right? But everybody is saying artificial intelligence. We are also saying artificial intelligence, right? But whatever it is, you can make machine learning programs. You can make it automation. You can make it what you call augmented intelligence, right? And all the things you can do with your mathematical skills. And you believe it or not, so much data actually generated like anything through WhatsApp, through what you call Facebook, through Twitter, through what you call YouTube. In YouTube, every minute there are some 300 hours, I think, videos actually uploading around the globe. So a lot of actually data is available. The only thing is just understand the language and put your common sense, whatever mathematical logics you have within the what you call the Python environment or Julian environment, and get the data and put it into the system and analyze it and publish papers and suggest and improve the business models, right? All the things, right? You can do it. Let me talk about the second application. This is actually price prediction. For example, there is a 2,000 square feet house there in Gachibowli, and that is, say, for example, 3-bedroom. And square feet cost is 180 rupees. For time being, let us consider it's 180 rupees each square feet cost. Okay, so if you want to know, if you have this much data, whatever data you have, you can have this data through various sources. We can get the data. Getting data, it is not a big problem at all. So once you have square feet and what are the neighborhood is nothing but Gachibowli or Jubilee Hills, the place actually. And a bedroom is maybe 3-bedroom and a 2-bedroom, even 2.5 bedroom and 1.5 bedroom. That is also possible. 1.5 is nothing but it is not a bedroom. It's maybe that 0.5 is a kind of study room, something like that, right? And if you have these square feet prices, then you can predict very easily by giving the what you call the square feet or number of bedrooms, what is the cost of the particular flat with that dimensions at a particular place, right? So this is actually, for example, 1250 square feet you are looking for 1250, and also you are looking in what you call the Gachibowli, and maybe you are looking for 3 bedrooms. Then you want to know what is the cost of that particular flat. So because you have this information, right? This information you can have either in CSV file or maybe in JSON or maybe text file or maybe PDF file, does not matter. So we have beautiful and powerful languages, and if you can give certain comments, those environments can understand very clearly and it can compute like anything, right? So this is your requirement, and you want to know the what you call the price of that particular house which is available in the Gachibowli, right? And your specific requirements is what? 1250 square feet, right? This problem actually, what you have to do, you have to give housing data to computer. Your housing data may be whatever form you have. It may be CSV or whatever it is, right? And once you give to the computer, and the computer will analyze and it will execute the prices. And in case if that price is, if you are happy with that price, and you can say okay, or else you can go with some other what you call the, instead of 1250, you can go for 1200, and you can put into the system. In case if this 1200 SFT is available, then you can opt that particular thing, right? So this is actually mathematical formula. How mathematics will come into data science? See, everything is based on mathematics. You talk about any model. So every model actually based on mathematics. And at the same time, please keep in our mind, no model is 100% perfect. That's why we are talking about a 95% confidence interval and 98, something like that, right? No model is 100% perfect. However, some models are useful. Maybe even though not perfect, some are what? Useful. See, whatever actually the best, you take the best. So when you are comparing with the actual answers, if it is matching or close to the actual, then your model is perfect model. Even though it is a little bit what you call the, maybe your it is very close to your what you call the actual price. It is not exactly close to, not exactly equivalent to actual price. Still your model is considerable, right? So what is the concept actually? You have to find the Y value. Y is nothing but you want to find price. And square feet anyway you can give from your side. And bedroom is you can give from your side because that is your requirement. and the neighborhood you can give MVP colony or whatever you want to give. And these are actually parameters. Actually, if you can see this equation more closely, this is looks like y is equal to mx plus c. That basic mathematics. So here the very important and interesting fact is you have to find only W1, W2, W3. Whatever unknowns are there, those values you have to find. Because x1, x2, x3 you can give from your end, and y is anyway output. This is actually you can make it by loss function. Because see, you are actually mathematics person, that's why I'm talking about loss. If you are non-mathematics background person, then I will talk something else. No need to learn any mathematics, take this code. In the code, what is there? So just understand the code, because formula is different and writing the formula in code form is different. So in code, what actually you can give, if you can understand, then no need to think about the mathematics. Since you are a mathematics person, so you can think about the loss. Whatever your prediction value is there, that is close to actual. If it is both are equal, then it is 0. If it is both are equal, your prediction value and actual value is both are equal, then what you will get in the numerator 0, 0 by anything is 0 and the loss is 0. Whenever is loss is 0, that means our model is 100% perfect. But actually it is very difficult to predict that much close. So if it is reduced, that means what? It may be not 0, close to 0. That means your model is almost acceptable model. That means what? You have to reduce the loss by using this partial differential equation. And this is the actual function. These are all the kind of beautiful graphs you can see in programming language. Once you have this Julia software in our system, and if you know how to give certain parameters to the system, then if you can compute, it will give actually those 3 elements. What is the minima? That minima is W1, W2, W3, you will get it, and you can put in this equation W1, W2, W3, and you will get a what you call the price. That price, I'm sure, guaranteed I'm telling you, it will may not equal to actual price. It is no doubt very close to the actual price. So this is a simple mathematics concept, but you can do this kind of prediction in what you called by using this data science. You have to find actually those what you call the losses. See here at one point here, if you move this point to here, some other point you will get W1, W2, W3. If you move that point to here, some other. There are so many iterations actually computer will do at the back end. See here, iteration number 6, like that it will do so many iterations. For us, it is very complicated if you want to do the same thing on our board or maybe on piece of paper. So at back end, the system will do so many times those kind of iterations, and finally it will give you what you call the ultimate answer. So you have to find each value, and it's going back and finding and do multiple times, and whatever actually minimum value there, that minimum value you can put it. So finally you will have this kind of equation. Y equal to, you got W1, you got W2, you got W3. Then simply you have to plug what you call the square feet and a bedroom, your requirement, and which place actually you are looking for. If you can plug those details in the equation, automatically you will come to know the price, right? The only thing is, please don't feel bad. The people who are good at math, they are not good at computers. I mean, particularly these languages. And people who are good at the languages, they are not good at what you call mathematics. So once, see, we have mathematics. Actually, computer science people will face a lot of problems to understand mathematical concepts. But since we are in mathematics background, we have mathematical knowledge. So learning languages is not so difficult. Once you got expertise in understanding these 3 programming languages, Python, Julia, and Wolfram Alpha, I'm telling you, you can do wonders. And you can go to any level. So I'm sure. So therefore, I'm requesting every mathematician should have these 3 programming languages in their hand. That's very, very important. So let me talk about the third application. See, we are actually today we are giving this online lecture. That means webinar. Why? Because of this pandemic of COVID, right? So that's why so many actually discussions are going on through Zoom and what you call WebEx and Microsoft Team and all the things, right? And before that, what actually our central government did, in order to reduce the number of cases, they implemented lockdown. So previously I discussed about mathematics. Let me talk about statistics right now. In fact, actually we are talking about We are dedicating this, what you call the entire FDP for our, what you call this, yeah, Rauji. Therefore, we should talk something about statistics, right? So lockdown actually implemented government, right? And government says that they controlled so much. But if you want to know from your side, really it is a controlled or not? So you can make actually two kinds of statements from your side. So according to the statistics, you can make it one, what you call the H0 and HA. What is that H0? There is no difference in the growth rate before and after lockdown. That means remains the same. And alternative hypothesis is the growth rate after lockdown is significantly less comparatively before. These are the two statements actually we can create, right? Now one is null and other one is alternative. And based on that, again, you can take help of data science. Again, why data science is required? Because this is implemented within India. So you know how much population we have, right? We are telling roughly 130 crore, but even beyond that we have, right? It's closer to, I think, 140, in between 135 to more than 135, no doubt, right? This is actually our numbers, right? So within these numbers, these many people, male, female, and so many classifications, it is very difficult to understand, right? So if you want to analyze such kind of huge data, even though you're good at statistics, you need some computing power. So with that computing power, you can do it. So you may get doubt where you will get this data, sir. I got the data from COVID-19india.org. You can type later in what you call Google. You can have data from minute to minute, day to day, right? You can have this data and you can analyze. If you analyze, there is actually Seaborn. Seaborn is one kind of package in Python. So there are actually packages are there. For example, let me give one example, LaTeX. If you want to write a paper in standard format, and most of the good journals are accepting paper in text files, not in MS Word document or maybe PDF. That text file is not available in the Python. Then what will happen? Somebody, Pythonic people are developing the same kind of environment and they are importing within the Python environment. You can use for free of cost. So like that, for beautiful graphics and all, there is a software called Tableau. But like Tableau, some Pythonic people who are good at Pythonic coding and all, they understood the Tableau software and they designed one more software like Tableau that's called a Seaborn. That is a package that is freely available in the Python. Just simply you have to write import Seaborn. That's all. Once you imported Seaborn as SNS, that is actually shortcut code, you can understand once you have data science knowledge. So once you write that statement, you are freely, you can make a varieties of diagrams, variety type of charts and graphics. And see, we got actually first lockdown in India on March 25th. And if you can see this thing, and before March 25th, these are the drops levels. And after March 25th, it is slowly came down. Slowly came down, and you can see the equations look like y is equal to mx plus c again. It's look like y is equal to mx plus c again. So what I want to tell you, these kind of generalizations, you can do it. You can submit it to what you call to the government, right? Another thing is, see, previously I told about assignment of the jobs, and at the same time I told if you know the budget constraints, again that is another headache. In the same manner, here you came to know that cases are really decreased or increased after lockdown. And thereafter, if you want to do some other additional study, what is that additional study? Some people got positive, but is it a true positive? Some people got negative. Is it a true negative? This is a simply 10th class chapter. What is that? Statements and sets. That is according to our state level, Andhra Pradesh syllabus. There is a chapter called the statements and sets in 10th class. There you can find actually there are 4 types of things are available. One is what? True, 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 false, false, true, false, false, something like that, right? The same thing in data science, we will talk in the same thing in a different manner. True positive, true negative, false positive, false negative, because people are in big confusion. Some are saying that I'm not feeling well, but in the report I got negative. Some people are saying that I'm all right, but in the report actually I got a positive. But is it really that is right or something else? That accuracy and prevalence and these all the things, if you want to test it, you can test it. This is possible with the help of mathematics and the power of computing. So you should learn these languages. Once you have these languages, you can do wonder. So you may get doubt what you did. So I did actually, not only myself, and from GITAM University, there are 2 more professors actually, joined with me, and we did actually extensive research, and we published, in fact, one paper not during, I think before the first lockdown, right? So we are the probably first person from Andhra Pradesh, probably maybe from Telugu states, we published one paper on this. So these are the actually things you can talk it. So how it is increasing and decreasing. This, if k is greater than 1, then it is increasing, and if k is less than 1, that is a decreasing. Who is k and all the things you can understand once you model this entire concept. So these are the actually inferences. If you want to talk about, we are talking about linear regression. That's why you got actually y is equal to mx plus c plus epsilon, something like that. You will get it, and you can find this m value and as well as c value. And also we are talking about this model analysis and all the things, right? And this is actually we published actually what you call paper, and also it is came in a newspaper. We are the first people from Telugu states, and we analyzed this data, and we got this data, we procured this data from various sources, and we, what you call, the given suggestions to how what you call the non-pharmaceutical interventions are going to help in order to decrease the growth of the what you call the COVID rate in India. So, and also we addressed actually media. The reason for keeping this photograph is my webcam is not working very well. So this is myself. You can see at right side, and we addressed actually even media. Not only that, even in live also, we interacted with the media and we educated a good number of people on this COVID, right? Not only that, very recently I have taken the project from the AP government, and I'm not supposed to keep this entire project details on this slide, but I want to tell you from this slide how data science is really useful and helpful for taking kind of consultancy even from government or even from private people. So because of the lockdown, there are so many engineering colleges are not functioning. And some are actually saving revenue because of what you call power saving and transportation saving and generator saving and what you call the other miscellaneous savings and all the things, operation cost and all. And few colleges actually, they are not paying full salaries. The government came to know about this. And they are very serious because most of the engineering colleges, particularly in Andhra Pradesh, they are coming under reimbursement, fee reimbursement. Then I got this particular what you call project from AP government. They want to know how much actually engineering colleges are saving during this lockdown time. So this is only one graph only. I'm just showing you. There are so many graphs are there and so many mathematical calculations there. We submitted this report to what you call this government, right? So what I'm saying, you can have mathematics, but if you have this power of computing, you can do so many things. That's what I want to tell you. So not only that, I just came into politics also. I'm guiding actually national BJP from 2016 onwards, sorry, 2015 onwards in various strategies and all the things. I found actually disruptor analytics, and we are helping them only because of this data science. If this data science is not there, then frankly speaking, if these languages, if really I don't know, then having the mathematics, there is no use. I can't go to that level of, guiding people and doing these many consultancy projects. So my sincere request to you all people, since you are good at mathematics, please have some look at what you call the data science. You can do wonders. And let me talk about this to people. Don't think I'm deviating to somewhere else, but I want to say power of computing, how interesting it is. I just gone through the interview in my what you call the free time about Koti. The right side you can see he's actually one of the Telugu music director. His name is Koti, right? Actually, in his interview, what he told, he rocked actually film industry, particularly Telugu film industry in his time. Thereafter, actually, he became dull. Why? Because he don't know computing. A.R. Rahman actually came into the picture. He understood very clearly how to programming the music. Frankly speaking, you can do everything. You can do everything with computing. So if you have these languages, you can do wonder. Otherwise, what will happen? You will be within 4 walls. There is no use. And you may publish a few papers, but if you want to do real projects and challenging projects, then you should have computing. So he himself told, After KV Mahadevan, Ilayaraja came and he made extraordinary revolution in the music industry. And thereafter, Koti also came and did immense contribution. But he never thought A.R. Rahman is going to do extraordinary music is going to give, right? So, and also he mentioned from his own voice, from his side, he declared in his what he called interview, A.R. Rahman is good at computing. He knows computers. He did some kind of programming. He created music through programming. That is the power of computing. So this is not my words, this is Koti words, right? And if you take one more thing, he is actually fight masters in Telugu film industry, that right side people, they are actually Ram Lakshmans, they are actually twins. And if you see left side, he is actually, this fight master name is Peter Haynes, right? And someone is asked to this Ram Lakshman in his interview, fight masters, you have composed extraordinary, fights in various movies, but why you are not there for Bahubali movie? Then what they replied, very humbly they replied, we are uneducated people, we don't know computers. They told these two words. But Peter Haynes is good at computing. So he did extraordinary programming, how to design fights. Therefore, Rajamouli opted Peter Haynes, not us. This is the thing very politely they told. So that's what I'm telling you. This is the power of computing. You take any aspect, if you know computing power, you can do wonders. And if you can create mathematical formulas, because you are good at math and stat, and if you have additionally this computer science programming language, I'm telling you, you will go where I don't know. So it's very difficult to reach you. That is the concept I can tell you. And another thing, if you take this new policy, very recently this policy introduced by our Indian government, they are going to introduce coding classes from 6th class onwards, because they understood very clearly where we are standing. So the Indian government is introduced this national policy on education. As a part of this policy, they are planning to put coding classes from 6th class onwards, because they understood very clearly where we are lagging. We are generating a certificate people, not certified. So we have to give actually some coding power, computing power. So that is the very, very important thing. That's why this from 6th class onwards, please try to understand, from 6th class onwards, they are going to introduce this particular coding curriculum. And I have written actually, if you go with the Python programming books, then you may face a little bit complicated, because most of the Python or Julia or Wolfram Alpha is designed by combination of mathematics and what you call the computer scientists, right? So basically I'm a mathematics person. So I wrote actually books on programming languages. Those books definitely will helpful to you. You can understand very easily. These books are available in what you call Amazon and other 9 interesting and leading platforms throughout the world. One is Introduction to Python for Beginners, and the other thing is Python for Everybody Learner to Program. And also, I wrote one book on COVID-19. There actually you can see various types of analysis, true positive, true negative, false positive, accuracy, and all the so many things, right? And how to analyze not only COVID-19, if such kind of any pandemic comes in the near future, what kind of codes are required, what kind of mathematics is required, everything is there. And also I mentioned about this particular slide about what you call the beautiful graphically you can design by the help of Seaborn. So this is the Seaborn concept. I just wrote a book on entire Seaborn package. So what are the advanced features are there and how to use it, this Seaborn package in creation of extraordinary beautiful diagrams and graphics. Not only that, during this what you call this lockdown time, and the stock market is increasing and decreasing, and everybody is actually having what you call the fear, and they are pulling their money from stock markets and all. Then my concentration actually shifted from general works to what you call the stocks, and how to pick the best stock. I wrote this book. It is not for advertisement purpose or anything, but there you can find a lot of data science. By using the data science, you can pick the best what you call the stock. If you are going through TV18 or NDTV Profit, what will happen? If anyone is coming into the television and saying buy this particular stock, then if you're buying, then definitely you may get a loss or you may get a profit also, because there is no guarantee for those words. Don't believe, don't accept what TV18 and NDTV profit people are saying. Why? Because they are not telling you, they are telling for everybody. When they are telling for everybody, what do you mean by that? Everyone is buying. When everybody is buying, that means demand is increasing. When demand is increased, naturally price will increase. The price actually increasing not because of the TV18 or NDTV profit people. Because you all people are accepted and all people started investing, then automatically demand is increased. Because of the demand, is the price is increased. What actually you people are thinking that TV18 people told very correctly, or NDTV profit people told very correctly, or some other advisor told very correctly. That's why the price is gone very up. But it is not actually happening. Because you all people are accepting and buying, that's why it is increasing. But if you want to know really, if you want to compute from your side, instead of listening somebody words, then you should have data science knowledge. Then automatically you will come to know which stock is really better stock, and when to exit, how much time you have to hold. All the things you can understand through data science, of course, with the help of mathematics. And not only that, if you identify a certain group of stocks, and again, if you have 1 lakh rupee or 10,000 rupee or 50,000 rupee, and in each stock, how much you have to invest, that is nothing but a portfolio optimization. You are not supposed to keep your entire amount in one particular stock. So you can think from your side with the computing power, you can decide, the system will educate. The system will educate how much you have to keep in each stock. So you can go with the optimization. This is also I wrote based on what you call this programming thing, right? And we are planning to conduct like web series. So people are talking nowadays web series, right? Like that, we are planning to organize a series of webinars and data science on behalf of GITAM Ministry of Science. There is a Professor Vedavati is available in GITAM Ministry of Science. With the Association of Center for Learning and Sustainability, we are planning to give this free webinars and data science, and you will get expertise, and you are able to solve. It is not just a webinar. You can think it is a workshop. In the webinar, we can talk, but you won't get skill. But if you want to get skill, you should attend our workshops, and most of our workshops are free of cost. We are going to deliver all the workshops on behalf of GITAM Ministry of Science. So you will get an expertise of analyzing the sales, or analyzing the why one product is going very fast, why one product is not moving very fast, why one movie is very hit, why one movie is not hit, what are the parameters actually stopped. So many things you can understand, so many analysis you can do in most of the things. If you take actually newspaper, there are so many problems are there. Even if you take a local paper, or even you take actually a national paper or even international paper, right? There are so many problems you can find within the newspaper. Take the problem and get the data and understand the language and put your mathematical skills and analyze and generate a report and suggest to the government, suggest to political parties, or maybe what you call you can suggest to your boss or maybe particular company how to improve their sales from one particular point to other particular point. Not only that, we are also planning for executive programs like certificate programs and data science on behalf of GIM, GITAM Ministry of Management. I'm actually professor in GIM. So we are going to organize these executive programs on data science, as well as some workshops on the under webinar modes from GITAM Ministry of Science, and more details will be discussed. I think Professor Prasad Rauji available, and he will talk with you about these workshops and all. All are almost free. Not almost free, maybe everything is free. I'm not sure that Prasad Rauji will discuss. And if you can have this expertise on these kind of things, you can do, and you can execute the real problems, and you will have a lot of satisfaction when you are solving somebody's problem. You will have great satisfaction, no doubt at all, right? And let me go to how much mathematics is required. So what is data science? If you want me to define what is data science, in my words, in my understanding, science is nothing but answering. Data is nothing but information. So from information, whatever you have, it may be words, or it may be what you call numericals, or it may be images. Does not matter. Data can be any form, or maybe sound, audio also data, right? Video also data, words also data, numbers also data, images are data. So data can be any form, right? So from that, by looking at the data, you have to design a questionnaire. For that questionnaire required an answer. So that is nothing but data science, right? So if you want to become a data scientist, then you must have some technical abilities like programming language. And second thing is creativity. Creativity is nothing but writing a report is very important. Not only that, and graphics also very important. What kind of graph really need? Sometimes what will happen if you are not having that kind of creativity? See, for example, I don't like to use a pie diagram, but certain things you can represent even pie diagram also, but I don't like. Somebody want to represent everything in heat maps. Somebody may be not interested about heat maps, but actually, so to convey your what you call the findings to somebody, which kind of graph is really necessary and important, that is actually very important, right? That will come under creativity. And of course, communication skills are required, right? And how much mathematics you should know? You should have some linear algebra knowledge. Why? Because if you have a file in what you call the data in CSV form, CSV is nothing but Excel. But Excel consists of what? Number of cells. If you select any number of cells, that is nothing but what? Some rows and some columns. Because on top you can see A, B, C, D, and so on. And the left side you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Right? If you select any portion of the cells, then it looks like what? A rectangular array. It's nothing but a matrix form. Some rows and some columns, right? So a lot of matrix theory we will use in data science. That matrix theory comes from where? Linear algebra. Therefore, linear algebra is required. And of course, calculus is required. Previously, you have seen, right? Probability, of course, is required. And statistics for hypothesis testing and all that things is required, right? Even if you don't know much more of statistics, if you know little statistics, little probability, little calculus, little linear algebra, or no mathematics, still you can solve certain level of problems with the help of certain codes. And you can define your own code. You can define your own function. When these programming languages are not accepting your input, you can redefine your function. You can communicate it to the particular environment in Pythonic way. If you are communicating with the Python program, then Pythonic way you have to communicate. Otherwise, Python can't understand what actually you are saying, right? We will tell you how to define your own function. If you have some formula, if you defined some new formula, just you can give to the Python, because that formula may be not existing in the Python environment. So you can give that formula in a Pythonic way so that the system will understand. Then and onwards, it will execute as per your requirement. So if you have mathematics, then okay. If you have some portion of mathematics, also okay. If you are not good at mathematics at all, then also okay. So if you can come into data science, then you can do so many kind of manipulations and all the things, right? With the help of code and computing power. And linear algebra, how much linear algebra is required? So vectors and vector manipulations and matrices, matrix manipulations, linear equations, eigenvectors and eigenvalues are required. More than that, not necessary, right? If you have more than that, it is more useful. But this is actually required. Even this is also don't know, we have a solution. Because I love to give solution in every case. So these are the actually equations, right? Why I'm talking about this equation? These are system of equations. You know how to solve this kind of equations, matrix form, right? But if you have so many variables and so many what you call the constants, it's very difficult, right? Here we will talk about unknowns is nothing but vectors, and these are what? Matrices. So how to solve whether this equation has solution or not? Okay. If it is 3 by 3, okay. If it is 4 by... If you take a CSV file and if you have a lot of data, then what will happen? The data frame contains maybe 200 into 400, 200 rows and 400 columns. It's very difficult to write the matrix in what you call the board or a piece of paper, right? So the computing power is very much required. And if you don't know formulas also, you can Python can understand in Pythonic way and it will execute the solutions, right? And what is calculus? Gradients and integrations, that what you call maxima, minima, limits. These are the things are more than enough. And so at what point actually that particular function is going to give this minimum value and all the things you can understand in the, right? In the probability, we will talk about the random variables, mean, variance, factorials, combinations, and permutations. And in Pythonic world and the Julia world, in Wolfram Alpha programming language words, certain terminologies are different. So we have to communicate to the system in system language only. If you can understand only that part and everything, you can do rest of the things. So anything you can give it, right? In particularly statistics, actually you can talk about the density and the cumulative distribution functions and hypothesis testing and p-value, A/B testing, confidence interval, and at 95, 98, and so many things, right? And what is alpha, what is beta, what is gamma? For example, if you are talking about the stock analysis and all, so many things you can do it, right? If you have a function, if it is a PDF, means who are good at statistics, they can understand that it will be in between -1 to 1. If it is CDF, it will go from -1 to something else, right? This is for teaching and understanding the people is okay. But in Pythonic language, in Julia language, in Wolfram Alpha, you need not to think about that, how it is happening. Just give a function, and the function it will compute in its own way, and it will execute answers as per the requirement of as per your requirement. So please try to understand, my dear friends. These languages are very, very important and also essential, right? Since you have mathematical power, so I'm sure if you can understood about these languages and power of computing, I'm telling you, you can write one research paper on one day. And not only that, you can solve real problems and you can solve public problems. You can guide to the government. See, everybody wants a solution. Please try to understand at the end of the day, people want a solution. How you computed, how much work you did, that is nobody will think about that. Finally, they want actually solution. And once you have this power, there are so many freelance openings also there. You can take a problem from the cloud and you can solve and you can submit to the concerned company. You can make what you call the revenue, and by making revenue, and you can contribute the growth of Indian economy also, right? So these are the things, so many things you can do it. And once again, thank you very much. And before that, let me have a few questionnaires if anybody want to ask me. But our CLS director, Sri Prasad Rauji, will talk about what kind of workshops we are going to organize on behalf of GITAM Institute of Science. So, and also what kind of certificate programs we are going to offer in near future on behalf of GITAM Institute of Management. He will discuss. And my humble request, if you have free time, if you can enroll, then you will have expertise of analyzing any kind of problem by using what you call the open data. This is the thing I can tell you as of now. So please let me have, in case if you have any queries, and whatever queries we are not answered, you can just post in the chat box and we will answer in due course. I think after me there is no class. I mean, sorry, there is no talk of, there is no others talk. I think I can answer as many as I can. Please. Over to you, sir. Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
I think no questionnaire.
Oh, no.
Great.
Sir, thank you very much, sir.
Right. Thank you.
For your inspirational and informative session on relevance of data science in mathematics. This is really an amazing opportunity for every one of us to know the power of computing and importance of languages like Python, Julia, Wolfram Alpha. Thank you once again, sir, for giving us your valuable time and sharing your knowledge, sir.
Right, ma'am. Thank you.
Prasad Rao sir is there, sir?
Madam, you can conclude the session.
Okay. Thank you one and all for your active participation. This is the time to fill the day 3 feedback. The link is kept in chat box of both Zoom and YouTube. Please fill the form.